previously on the
Well,
MP.
they're not going to make the playoffs, and they're probably going to get a pretty decent pick again this
Exactly.
year.
You
So
don't want to be mid in the league. You rather
they
be
got Bryce Aldridge
rather
looking like a stud at number
okay.
15.
Well, it's gonna be another 3 years before he gets moved up.
Hey, he's in Double A. He's looking good. He's hitting bombs. Probably next year he's going to get the call.
Okay, one player.
Well, you only get so many picks, and only so many good ones.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MPP, the Noah and Patrick podcast. This is episode number 4.
Yep, I think
The 4?
it's it's 3.
Episode number 3. Yeah, looks like it's episode number 3.
Yeah,
Episode 3 of season 3. Yes, yes, yes. Getting confused here. Upload on Thursday mornings. Our NFL picks. We're off to a good start this week. Got the Jets beating the Patriots pretty handedly. Handedly.
handedly.
Handedly. What a weird word. Um, I guess the biggest news, and thank goodness it was done before the podcast so we could talk about it. That's the first thing I said after this great accomplishment happened is that we're going to talk about it on the podcast the next day. And that is Shohei Ohtani, the man, the myth, the legend. He got 50-50 yesterday versus the Marlins. Pretty historic day. Not only he got the record 50-50, the only person to ever hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases. But he put up a big game. What was it, Noah? 6 for 6.
Yeah, 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 2 doubles, single, 10 RBIs, triple shy of the cycle.
Crazy.
Had half of their runs, 10 RBIs out of 20. So
Yeah.
huge game.
Pretty crazy game. I actually watched it live, which, not that didn't think I would do, but saw that he got to 50 stolen bases, and I was like, might as well tune in. And after he hit the first one, pretty what a bomb, third deck, kind of golf swinged it. Um, I was like, oh, he's definitely going to get it this game. There's no chance. The Marlins were already down, I think, 7 runs. I think so. Had a feeling he was going to get it, and the second one, of course, he went opposite field. Didn't even pull it. Opposite field. Uh, the fan missed the ball. There was a big fight for the ball. Supposedly, they're not giving the ball back to Shohei either.
It's
So
gonna be a lot of money right there.
that's a that's a crazy home run, and to do it in Miami in front of the Marlins fans, mostly Dodger fans. Um, yeah, it was crazy. Probably the greatest player in our generation, I would say, right? Maybe all time.
I mean, I still think Mike Trout has been a better player overall, but I think Ohtani will take over. I mean, he's only been in the majors for what, 5 seasons now, maybe 4 seasons. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, what we're watching right now is probably I don't know who will ever beat that. I think this is like what it probably felt like to watch prime Barry Bonds when he was like pre-steroid and post-steroid
yeah,
era, like or during the steroid or whatever. Because he was stealing bases and hitting bombs, and then he just started to just only hit bombs. But it's just like it's like a marvel, like
yeah,
you don't know what you're seeing until later on.
yeah.
It's just insane what he's doing. Shout out to Shohei. Good thing he got out of the Angels. And next year he's pitching. So we'll see if he can get 150K strikeouts and hit 50 bombs again. Like we'll see what like this is not even the full potential of Shohei on your team. This is why he's worth the $700 million. He's going 50-50 and then if he pit and then pitching next year, like
Yeah.
insane throwing 98 off the mound.
Yeah, and he's already pitching before games. He's doing some bullpen. Um, and I just heard from a podcast, Jeff Passan said he's throwing the full arsenal too. He's not just throwing fastballs, he's throwing the slider, splitter. So I don't know. Maybe Tommy John is out. Maybe you just need reconstructive surgery on the elbow. But yeah, this is crazy. Also, too, Shohei got to 51-51 too. He's like not even at 50-50 anymore. He already broke his own record in the same game. So
I mean, he's been the only one to do this since 43, I think. So he's just been making history the whole time going through. But um, the last time I remember like this kind of excitement for someone doing this, like obviously Acuna last year went 40 and 60 or 40 and 80. I don't remember, but
yeah,
if it was 60 or 80. But Matt Kemp, I remember when Matt Kemp was on the pace for 40-40. I think he finished 39-40. But like the hype around Matt Kemp getting 40-40 or on the pace to get 40-40 was insane. I remember that happening, or that hype around that. But just like a couple quick things about Shohei's year. I mean, like this is the same year his interpreter and friend stole 16
crazy. He
million
started the season
dollars.
in South Korea.
Yeah. Um, he, like you said, had reconstructive surgery on his elbow. I think it went 6 for 6, and then he created the 50-50 club. So it's just insane stuff going on for Shohei and outside of the baseball diamond and still able to do this. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Also, shout out to the Marlins manager for pitching to Shohei. I think I would too. Might as well. You know what? Why are you going to be in the news for not pitching to Shohei?
Like he said, it's just bad baseball karma. You know, it's got to
Right.
skip Schumacher, man.
Yeah.
Cardinal legend. Yeah, like how do you not? Like you can't just stop history from happening. You know, there's no point to walk them there. You're already down 12-3, whatever the score was at that point. Um,
You might as well.
just go with it. If it happens, it happens. Like
The
it,
crazy
wa-
thing wasn't the count 0-2, I think.
it I don't. I'm not sure, but it wasn't even a bad pitch. It was like an outside, like a backdoor slider or something, and he just took it the other way. What are you gonna do? Like that's just he's just a good hitter. Like
Yeah.
you can't do anything about that. It's not a bad pitch. Just he just went with it.
If it came down to the final game and he needed one home run, were you pitching right down the middle to him?
No, no,
You giving him a good pitch to hit.
no.
How about that?
I think you pitch to him regularly, and if he does it, he does it. I don't think you groove one. It's not like it's his last game, and it's not like Derek Jeter when it was his last game, and they just
That's
grooved him
what
down the
that.
middle for him to win the game.
I don't know. But
But now he
honestly,
has like 12 or 10, between 10 and 11 games, I think,
yeah.
still.
And
He
he
can
could
go for
hit.
60. He can go for
Yeah.
60.
Crazy.
I don't think he will try because he was trying for 50. You can tell with the stolen bases and everything. But
He stole third. Okay.
yeah,
Crazy.
and it
I
was
don't know
really
how he didn't
close.
get
Like
tagged out.
he should have been gunned, but it's
Yeah.
all right. He stole another base later on, but I don't know if he'll go for 60, but it's there.
He'll
He can still get it
yeah.
if he stays hot. He just had 3 home runs.
Yeah. Crazy. But I've never rooted for a Dodger player more in my life. Just gonna say that.
It's just one of those things where you have to. It's just
You just
you're a
hope.
baseball fan. You're not a giant fan rooting against a giant. You're just a baseball fan enjoying it. You know, it's the
Yeah.
same thing with like all like people who hate certain players and stuff like that. It's like in the moment, like you hate LeBron, but if you're in the moment, you're a basketball fan. You know, you're rooting for LeBron to get the 40,000 points, stuff like that. You know, same
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly. Enough about Shohei and his greatness. Noah, what headlines you got this week?
Yeah, so the biggest news that dropped this week, early this week, Bryce Young has been benched. The Panthers have benched Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Real surprising because, Bryce Young, I feel like it hasn't had the best opportunities to win with this team, but you can tell he has no confidence out there. He just needs a little reset, even if that's maybe he just sits for 4 games, maybe even less than that, and you just let him calm down, gain some confidence, hopefully, and practice whatever you have to do to get him the confidence because he looks defeated out there. Like
I would
I've
be
never I've never seen a player look that defeated, and I can't blame him. The dude's tiny, first of all, and then
he's literally my height, which is crazy. I can't
he's
and then trying to look over a 6'5" lineman. Oh my God.
they're showing some pass. He has to do jump passes over the lineman. But we know he can play. He's played at Alabama and he's had a lot of success at Alabama. So I just think he needs a reset. So it's looking like he's probably gonna be gone from the Panthers. A team will probably trade for him, or I mean, I'm sure there's a team out there that'll give him a chance. So the top teams I think potentially could go for him are the Raiders, especially if they start to win more. They're not going to have a good pick in the first round to draft that QB that they need.
Yeah.
Um, like I don't know if you would rather have Bryce Young or like Cam Ward at like 15 or whatever they're going to, because they're probably going to have another 15 to 20 pick um, around there. You got the Dolphins with the Tua questions. Are you really going to stick with Skylar Thompson this whole time?
Horrible.
You got or Huntley. Like, I mean, Huntley's a Pro Bowler. Don't get me wrong. But um, if Tua does decide to retire, do you maybe try to take a chance with Bryce Young? You have a not a terrible line. You have a lot of good weapons there for him. It'd be a nice little reset. I guess to go to the nice weather, Florida instead
Miami.
of North Carolina. Um,
Yeah.
or the Rams are a team where he can sit for a year, maybe even two, depending on Stafford. Stafford's pretty close to retirement. Um, and then you got a couple good weapons there also. You're surrounded by some good players and give him another chance to reset there. Like, do you have any other teams that he could potentially go to or anything about that? You think?
Trying to think. I don't think so. One thing that I did hear was very interesting to hear is that the Niners get Bryce Young and trade away Brock Purdy so they don't have to sign him to a big contract.
Yeah, I think you're going to hear a lot about Brock Purdy because his contract. I don't know if they're going to want to pay that contract. They're already spending so much money, and
Yeah.
he's going to want a lot of money
Yeah.
because he's been to the Super Bowl. Guys that have gotten huge contracts that haven't been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence with his contract. Like, why has he even got that contract? The dude has not shown that he's the guy. So it's like Jacksonville just couldn't give up on him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, who else are you gonna get at that time? Trying to think of other teams. I don't think so. I think a lot of teams from this last draft kind of got their guy. Um, yeah, not think of anyone right now. But yeah, I mean, I think at Bryce Young, you just need a little change of scenery. But the head coach, those conflicting things that he said. He's going with Andy Dalton, probably going to be like the best chance to win some games. And then he said that he got asked about trading Bryce Young, and he's like, "Oh, my quarterback room is the best." It's kind of interesting. Definitely, yeah.
As first
He
year head coach.
he already got to him.
First year head coach. It'll do it
Yeah.
to you. But yeah,
He was,
well, one last team I think would probably be the Browns with Deshaun Watson over there. Potentially, if you feel like Deshaun Watson's gonna get in trouble with whatever's been going on there, and you can get out of that contract, it's either Dorian Thompson or whatever his name is, and maybe you add Bryce Young. We'll see, but um, that's another team that potentially may need a quarterback.
One last thing before we move on. People are saying that some of the blame is Bryce Young as well because he went 2-16 last year. Yeah, 2-16.
Well, including this year, so he's 2-16,
Oh,
including
two
this
and
year,
sixteen, yeah, including this
in
year.
all of his games, yes. And
Crazy.
I think the games that they won what three? I don't think they scored a touchdown in them. It was like
Yeah,
3-0 against the Falcons or something like that, and then 6-3 or 9-6 against another team. Like
yeah, crazy.
they're up, they're both on last minute field goals,
Yeah.
game winning field goals. Next, Arch Manning is getting his first career start on Saturday. He will be facing um, Louisiana Monroe, so it's not looking like a crazy hard matchup. They are 2-0, so you never know there. But Quinn Ewers hurt last week. Manning did take over. He was 9 for 12, four TDs. He had a good showing.
And for Reggie,
225 yards, and then a three carries for 53 yards and a TD. So um, this could be the moment. He shows that he's going to be something. I don't think he'll take Quinn Ewers' job. Quinn Ewers has been having a good year, but he'll show that he's here and he's ready for the next year. And who knows, maybe it'll be a one and done year for Manning next year. He did not redshirt, or he redshirted, so he's a redshirt,
sophomore, Jude, no,
or he's a redshirt freshman.
yes, last year was his freshman year.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he redshirted, but if he did redshirt, then he would be a redshirt freshman this year. So technically, he could still leave next year as a sophomore, um, redshirt
I think
sophomore because it's third year.
yeah, it's his third year, so he's a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a redshirt freshman or not. So he's either sophomore or redshirt freshman. But either way, he could leave next year after
I
next
think
year.
I think the crazy thing is he's getting 4.5 million NIL for sit the bench, and he's okay sitting the bench. You know,
Yeah,
he already told the team and the coach, Steve Sarkisian, he's like, "Hey, I'm good. Whenever you want me, I'll be here."
yeah.
And I mean, he proved it last game. He's gonna prove it this game. He had a higher top speed on that run than Tyreek Hill. I don't know how that's possible, but
Didn't look like it, that's for sure.
it did not. Yeah, it did not look like he was running in slow motion. Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, like you said, you don't see that often where you have a player like this who, especially with his name, is willing to just sit and um, not be a drama queen, I guess.
I heard a crazy prediction that he's gonna pull a Eli Manning if he gets drafted by the Panthers. It's gonna be full circle for that Manning family.
Well, we just gotta hope that
She's gonna
Panthers
refuse.
improve from Nick because Panthers most likely are going to get the first pick for this upcoming draft. But the year after, they just got to hope that somehow a team like that is like a Bears situation,
Yeah,
and that they would have a good defense, hopefully a better offensive line than the Bears one, but um, so a situation like that for them.
crazy. That would be crazy. Refuse to go to the Panthers. I would, honestly. It's horrible. Onto my headlines. We got a unexpected Woj bomb in the middle of non-NBA basketball season
I know
that
what's
he
wrong.
is retiring from ESPN, which is crazy. I didn't see this coming. I don't think a lot of people didn't see this coming. He is retiring from ESPN. He was in sports media for over 40 years. He wanted to take a step back. He was tired of looking at his phone all the time and trying to stay up to date with all these news and trying to get his his stuff out there before anyone else. So he wanted to take a step back. He is now the GM of Saint Bonaventure.
Alma
Uh,
mater, I believe.
alma mater, yeah. I guess he does the graduation speech every year. Um, he was making $7 million a year at ESPN. Crazy for just breaking news. Um, and he had 3 years left of his contract, which he's not gonna get since he's gonna retire. And his salary at Saint Bonaventure, the Bonnies, $170,000. What
Hey,
a
I'm
pay
sure
cut!
he's made his money already.
Yeah, yeah,
He seems like a smart guy. He's probably got a bunch saved up or invested, whatever you do.
yeah.
But whatever he wants to do with it, I don't know. But hey, when he was the best at it for a long time, breaking the news. I mean, they named it the Woj bomb. I hope they continue to say Woj bomb after this. Um,
No, we're
like
gonna have Shams now, probably.
no, no, we don't want any sham. Like I don't even know what we would say for. You can't say shams bomb. It's just not the same. Woj bomb has to say Woj bomb. But we'll see what happens with Shams also because I think his contract's up. So maybe ESPN goes in there, swoops him. Um, but Shams has had a lot of controversy before with stuff like this. I think we talked about it where um, he was pushing so hard that I don't remember who it was. Someone was going to get picked number 2 in the draft, and it completely changed the odds
Was it Scoop?
of the betting. Yeah, Scoot Henderson was going to go number 2, and the odds completely flipped from Miller to Scoot,
Yeah,
and Miller went second, and that caused a lot of drama there. So we'll see what happens with Shams, but Waller's bombs, nothing like them. Turn on the notifications on NBA trade deadlines for Woj, and
yeah. I think the craziest year was when Woj was like literally saying the picks before they were broadcasted. I think that was the craziest year, and after that, they were like, let's not do that."
well, and then I think what was it? They told him that he couldn't, and then uh, he was saying like it's suspected or whatever
Yeah,
because
yeah, that was
like
right.
Shams and everyone else or whatever was just like saying who was going to be picked, so he just went in and started saying, "Oh, it's probable."
It's looking like
It's yeah, that was
maybe.
good. That was good.
Next, we're going to go through all the 2-0 teams in the NFL and see if they are contenders or pretenders for the Super Bowl or playoff run. I know we did a can make the Super Bowl and can't make the Super Bowl. Pretty surprising, some of these 2-0 teams. I guess we'll start with the Bills. Let's say that's a pretty easy contender, right?
Yeah, surprisingly, I think their defenses has been a lot better than people thought, and obviously Josh Allen has been good on offense.
Yeah. Steelers.
I think they're borderline. I would say more pretender than contender just because the offense.
Yeah.
That their defense is amazing though.
Yep, just picked them up in my fantasy. Uh, yeah, I would go Pretender just because honestly, all they have to do is score like 2 touchdowns, and they could
Yeah,
probably win the game
yeah.
out pretty easily. But we'll see on that. See if Justin Fields starts improving. Texans easy contender, right?
I would say pretender, but yeah, go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think the Texans' offense is clicking right now. But their defense has looked better than their offense, I think.
On like week 7, do you think they changed to like contender? Probably.
It all just depends on if they start to pick it up on offense because luckily for them, they've gone against the Colts offense. Anthony Richardson has been
That's true.
eh, and then the Bears offense has not been good either. So,
Yeah. Chargers?
ooh. You know what? I think I'll go contender on the Chargers. They look good. They got Justin Herbert. He doesn't turn the ball over very often, and their defense has been good.
He doesn't have to throw it 50 times a game.
Yeah,
Chiefs,
yeah,
contender.
yeah, yeah. You can't count them out.
Vikings. They'll make the
It's
playoffs.
just I think right now you call him pretender because it's Sam Darnold
Yeah,
leading the team. He has looked good, but still, we'll see.
the Saints.
You gotta go contender. They look insane, offense and defense wise.
Hopefully the high keeps going.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
Derek Carr, keep it going.
and then last two Bucks. I say contender.
Yeah, I mean they were good last year. They're continuing it this year, so
And finally the Seahawks.
pretender.
Yeah,
I think their defense has been okay, but they also have bad times. Like against the Patriots, they gave up like 20 points to the Patriots, and then we just saw what they did against a good defense.
yeah. So those are our contenders and pretenders. Be on the lookout. That's going to be an Instagram post, and really trying to get some content going here.
Nice,
I'll send
good
it to you.
stuff.
Thank you.
Uh, all right, so quickly go through these. So it's week 3 of the underdog picks. So let's go right into it. So for my underdog picks this week, we're going to start off with the Saints, who have been on a tear to start the season, and they're going against a weak secondary with the Eagles and Chris Olave. I'm going higher than 64 and a half receiving yards. He's gonna have a nice little game here, comeback game.
Yep.
Next, go to San Francisco
Thank
against the Rams.
you.
Rams injuries, San Francisco injuries. So let's just go with the healthiest guy on the field, Jordan Mason, 93 and a half rushing yards. Um, they just gave up a bunch of rushing yards to James Conner. So next, last but not least, we'll go to Denver against Tampa Bay. And I think Denver's probably going to be playing from behind like in the last 2 games. Uh, we'll go with Bo Nix higher than 30 and a half passing yards or passing attempts. He's had 35 and 40, I believe, the last 2 games. So um, he's going to have to keep chucking that thing.
Nice. On to my picks. I got J.K. Dobbins going up against the Steelers defense. I'm going lower than 54 and a half yards. Steelers got a good defense, so not expecting him to rush. And he also did get outsnapped by Gus Edwards last week.
Yeah.
So, um, next, I'm going with the Lions. David Montgomery getting a touchdown against Arizona. Arizona's rush defense isn't as great. So I'm thinking a little. And plus, the Lions are playing with some fire this week after losing to the Bucks last week. Finally, I'm going with Tony Pollard from the Titans getting a touchdown against Green Bay. Titans have been looking good. QB play is not so great, but Pollard's been getting a lot of touches the last couple of games. So
Nice.
nice.
And so those are our underdog picks for the week. Last week, the only 2 we missed were the quarterbacks because for some reason they just did not throw the ball. It was
Yeah, touchdowns are down this year, which is crazy by a lot.
yeah. Offense has not looked good this year except for the Saints.
Yeah. Now we're gonna play a new game. It's called the Immaculate Grid. We have to guess the player that fits in the categories that you see there. So like the first one, it's gonna be a player that's played for the 76ers and the Memphis Grizzlies. The next one's Atlanta and the Suns. We've got the All-Star right here. That's pretty easy, I would say. The goal is trying to get a correct player, but a player that no one will probably guess. So. We'll see about this. Any guesses? Any thoughts, Noah? First thoughts looking at these? I mean, Joel Embiid is probably
Obvious one.
obvious one for
Iguodala
all.
is probably pretty high.
Yeah,
What about did Marcus All play for the Knicks? No. What
no,
about Tony Allen?
Tony Allen. Yeah,
I don't know if he played for the Knicks.
sounds like he would.
Um,
No. Hawks, Grizzlies. Dang it. I saw the one yesterday. It was pretty easy. So 76ers, Grizzlies is just a hard team. Suns, hmm,
yeah, I
I,
don't know players like this.
I don't know that basketball it could be kind of easy. You want to try football, baseball? You would probably be good at baseball, maybe.
No. Stick with this one if you want. Just figure it out.
Okay,
You
okay.
gotta think through it.
Let's get the all stars on the board here. Okay, even if they're
Well, are
easy,
we trying to go for a low score or just anybody now?
let's just go for anybody.
Okay. Let's just put Iguodala because
E
it's probably lower than Embiid.
4%. That's a good
Uh,
guess. All star, Trey Young. It's probably the obvious one. Um, Vince Carter.
I don't know. Was he? I don't think he was on the Hawks All-Star. Or does that count as it could just because he played for him like one time?
I don't think so. I mean, I could try.
Vince Carter could be for Grizzlies and Hawks. I think he played for the Grizzlies, right? Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
No, I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 60%. Nice.
Oh, other people know that too.
People remember that. That's kind of recent, I'm pretty sure.
Hawks All Star. I'll just go Trey Young. I
Got
think.
like Dominique Wilkins,
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
it's probably a high one too. Yeah, I
24.
think older people because, you know,
Jeremy Lin, All Star.
Jeremy Lin.
No,
Jeremy Lin, do you play for the Suns? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Grizzlies. I don't think so. All Star in the Knicks. Brunson, Randall,
Patrick
Carmelo.
Ewing.
Carmelo. I guess go Ewing. Is Carmelo on the Grizzlies? Suns?
No.
Okay. No.
James Jones.
Suns Knicks?
No.
Okay.
He didn't play for the Knicks.
Grizzlies. I can only think of like Zach Randolph.
Yeah, Zach Randolph's a good one.
Derrick Rose?
D Rose.
Was he on the Knicks?
Yep. He didn't really play, so that'd be a good one.
Oh, come on. 39? No shot.
We got to think old time, bro.
I know. But Derrick Rose is all time? Kind of.
He's like 32. Uh,
Suns, huh? Think of who's it?
Charles Barkley played for the Suns and the 76ers.
What a photo. Suns Hawks. Suns Hawks. Chris Paul?
Yeah. Well, Chris Paul didn't play on the Hawks, I don't think.
You think
He played on the Rockets.
oh I thought he was signed on one day. I was that Carmelo?
I have no idea.
Well, we got a rarity score of 508. Remind me to play tomorrow. That was kind of hard. Grizzlies is a hard team. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, throwing a curveball, but
That's
that's it.
we'll try it another day.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look at the teams before doing it. All right.
So yeah.
So yeah.